Hello. It is the Homemade Broadcast. It's episode 550. My name's Will Kuncz. Anna Hummel's next to me.
Hello. Happy New Year. I forgot it. I'm like, why does it feel so weird? It's because we haven't done the show in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Maybe a month?
I think 2. Right? Well, I guess this would be the 3rd week.
Yeah.
Oh, that stinks, man. But yeah, welcome back.
Is it because of that perfume I put on? God.
You smell good and also really bad.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Can I just briefly talk about
Sure.
I had a bad shopping experience, and I don't know if anybody else gets this way. I don't know if it's just women. It's probably not. Where you just really want something new. You're there. You have a $50 gift card and you can't find anything you like. So you just go to another store. You're looking to just buy something because you want something new. I thankfully resisted the temptation to do that. And then walking out through the mall through Macy's, there's all these free tester perfumes. So I just went to the most expensive one, which was a Valentino. I don't know what Valentino is. I'm assuming
Versace,
Italian. Right? Again, I don't know. So. I looked expensive. I smelled it. It didn't smell bad. And I just covered myself. It was probably an $8 spritz. And I walked out very satisfied. And then about 90 seconds later, I was like, oh no.
I made a huge mistake.
I've overdone it.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if I smell good and horrible.
I haven't seen you in a while, and I gave you a hug when you came in, and I go, oh my, you smell good. You smell like a lady. And then I was like, I have a headache.
Me too.
My head hurts now from the smell.
Yeah.
I have a very sensitive nose, so any sort of artificial smells will give me a headache. So I have a feeling I'll have a migraine by the time we're done here today.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Do you want to take the leave now or
no? I'll risk it. I can taste it though. It's in my mouth.
Sorry, dude.
It's like a thin. It's thick.
Film. Yeah.
Gross. There's a filmy there. First, a little programming note before we get started here. I want to remind you this is the Homemade Broadcast. As you know, it's episode 550 on YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook. We stream live on Wednesdays at 6. Potentially moving to maybe 7. Nobody seems to be really bananas about that, so I might just keep it at 6, but maybe move to 7 for a very important reason. The new Bone lineup came out. We're going to touch on that in the uncensored portion because I want to curse.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
dear.
Yeah, so we'll touch on that. And then next week, we're going to have a very special guest. We're going to have Eric Nagel, who is
AKA E-Rock, yep,
from the Opie and Anthony show I grew up listening to. Looking forward to speaking with him next week about the state of radio. So it might be a little inside baseball if you watch us, you probably like radio. So that'll be fun to speak with him. And you can get the audio only full edition of this podcast if you subscribe to the Substack, hmbradio.substack.com. I'll upload it as soon as we're done here, and you'll have the full audio show today. Otherwise, you can wait until Sunday for the podcast. You get a 30-minute free preview, or since I'm not a very good businessman, you can just wait for the video. If you miss the live stream, it'll be up on Sunday at midnight on YouTube. And I think there's other ways you can get around that, but I don't want to cheat. So I'm not going to tell you. If you figure it out, good for you. But otherwise, we're not going to do that. And you can do super chats on YouTube, which is great. And those will be guaranteed to be read. I'm doing my best to try to keep up with the comments, but I got to say already comments are popping off. So welcome to Fat Pig, Pillow Pants, Joe. We got Mike from St. P. Yinzer. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. So what's up, y'all? Thanks for joining us back here.
I'm really excited to ask Eric because I would like to know how old he is. Because
okay.
I met Eric in August when I was at Morning Show Boot Camp in San Diego.
Yeah.
And when I first saw him, I'm like, oh, this guy's 28.
Little baby face.
Baby face. And then he says he's on Opie and Anthony, and he's giving me a rundown of his career. And I'm doing the math, and I'm like, are you 60? I have no clue. So I would like to know how old Eric is. I'm guessing mid 40s, but he legit looks not a day over 28.
Definitely does some moisturizing. I will say that. I want to get some tips from him.
Baby face.
But yeah, looking forward to speaking with him. Radio St. Pete audience, of course, if you're listening to this on Radio St. Pete, you can join us Wednesdays at right for now 6 p.m. for the whole show. There's a half an hour that's uncensored that you don't get. Same thing with podcast listeners. Already burped. Good. Radio professional, podcasting professional. So first thing, Anna. First order of business I would like to take care of in the new year, Christmas is not over because Santa Claus came by.
What?
Santa Claus came by. As you can see here. Oh, no. Okay. Well, it says, let me read it. Special delivery from the North Pole. And here you got the North Pole. That's me. North Pole Patriots.
You're Santa. I thought this wasn't coming till the 11th. It must have come early.
It did come
Oh
early.
my God. I
Came
can open
early.
it?
You can open it. I didn't really, I wish I would have maybe put a little more. There's kind of just a piece of cardboard that's covering it. And I didn't wrap it. You probably like the wrapping a little more. Do you know what it? Oh, I should ask you if you know what it is, but you already know now.
Is it ghee?
It's a white ghee.
No way.
It's a white ghee.
This is awesome.
Right?
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
wear it tomorrow morning.
Hell yeah.
Tomorrow
reek.
morning.
God,
I'm
you reek.
sorry. I'm sorry, dude.
Don't spray any perfume
No,
on
I
that,
won't,
whatever
I
you
won't.
do.
Thank you so much.
But hopefully it's the right size. It's the smallest one that they had.
Oh, this is
so,
perfect.
Yeah.
This is
If you don't remember, I think you talked about it on the program here. You said that you needed the gym you go to will only allow you to wear a white gi.
Yes. So I've been doing no gi for 3 months because I was too cheap to buy a gi. Reason being, I have 4 gis. 3 of them are not white. One of them is white, but it's from another gym, which you also can't wear.
Yeah, that seems taboo.
So I was not doing gi. I was doing all no gi. And now tomorrow morning, I will
You're
do a
geed
gi
up.
class. Yep.
Geed up,
Thank
baby.
you so much, Will. This is so thoughtful.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Best gift giver I think there is.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt about it.
No doubt. You know why? Because you're a good listener and you pay attention.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what a good key is if you ever want to give a gift to if somebody's in your life and you want to make them happy, get them something that they want, you let them tell you, and then you just go to a place called Amazon.com, and then you just type in that thing that they said, and then you just put it in your cart, and then that way you could just buy it. And then when the time comes, you can give it to them as a gift.
So smart. I feel like you are a little bit hard to shop for.
I
Because
am.
I feel like the only thing that I can get you that you would be like actually excited about is maybe a $700 bottle
That's right.
of bourbon.
That's funny that you say that.
And I almost got you bourbon, but I was just like, I looked at your case and I'm like, there's nothing I can get him that A, he doesn't have, or B, is better than what he's already got.
Yeah, that's true. I did get a few bottles of whiskey. A listener sent in a bottle. I can't remember who it was. It's the guy that always calls me. I'm sorry. I think I already thanked you because you already did it. But it's I have it in the front of my brain, but it's since the microphone's on, I can't get the name out. But which is a nice gesture. Maker's Mark 101. It will be drank. Let's just put it that way. But you know, it's just Maker's Mark 101. I'm not one to turn my nose up, but I am a little bit behind your back. I got like a bottle of Uncle Nearest, which I know you don't know what that is, but just a small batch. I'm like, okay, thanks.
That's pretty like elite.
It's just you could just go to a liquor store and pick that up. I mean, if you looked at my cabinet like you did, there's like, I just know what I want and I just buy it for myself. I did. So my girl was like, Julie was like, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, I'll tell you.
Job.
Well, besides that, it's like a good gift is things that you want but won't buy for yourself, right? So I was like, listen, I'll tell you, but I knew she wasn't going to do it because obviously there's things like the job and I don't really need a car. A radio job would be nice, but that's not something you can buy, So I said, there are a few bottles that are fairly expensive that I will not buy for myself because they're too expensive. But however, that's why they would make a good gift. And let me just say, you could maybe talk with my dad, talk with my mom, and maybe like combine the money that you were going to spend on a gift for me and maybe just get me this one nice thing that I would absolutely love to have. And she went, I'm not doing that. I'm not buying you alcohol. So I said, all right, I guess these shoes.
Done with the enabling business.
I guess so. So she would not do it. She would not buy me the bottle of alcohol that I wanted. So I got a pair of cool Teva shoes.
Question.
Yeah.
Can I guess how much this bottle is worth?
Sure. Are you talking what it would cost MSRP, manufacturer's suggested retail price, or buying secondary?
I don't know, wherever one could buy it.
Probably secondary then, so
Okay.
sure.
I'm gonna say $600
It's not quite that much. So I
for what,
really
like 750 mils, or I don't know.
yeah, I guess that's a standard bottle. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's a standard size. I really wanted the Maker's Mark Cellar Edition, which is you can't get, it's allocated. You can't get it.
You have to go to the black market.
There's ways
You
to
need
get
to go
it.
to the Onion Router to get this liquor.
There's ways to get it. There's Facebook groups where people may, trade, buy and sell. You're not supposed to do it, but we're going to talk about Facebook in a minute too. So this is a good lead in. But there's ways to do it where you could probably get it for anywhere between like 300 and 500.
Okay.
So I mean, I feel like that's not that bad, particularly if
Pool the money.
Mm. That's no problem, because you're gonna spend, like my mom asked me, she's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I mean, nothing. I really don't want anything except this thing. And so I just said world peace. And I will say, to her credit, she didn't get me anything. And
She got you nothing?
Yeah, but that's fine. If I want something, I just buy it for myself.
I know.
There are a few things, like my girl got me these goofy Cybertruck looking Tiva shoes that I thought were kind of cool, but I wouldn't buy myself.
Will you wear them?
I've been wearing the crap out of them.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I love them.
I got to see them after the show.
And she got me some nice t-shirts, and that's good. I like those. But yeah,
2X?
Yeah, I'm still 2X. That's all right though.
You sent me a picture the other day.
Yeah.
Can we talk about why you sent me a picture?
Sure.
Why did you send a picture? You look really good, and of course, I felt like you were thinking the same thing I was, which you're like, dang, that was a great picture of me.
Yeah, I sent Anna this picture. This is from 2019. That's you probably. Oh, there you go.
My old roommate Rachel.
That's me,
also known as Reagan.
Yes, Reagan from. Now I had a crush on Reagan too, and there was just a very lovely photograph of us.
You both look great.
Yeah, so I thought, I'm gonna send this to Anna, and then I thought Anna would be like, "Oh," and she was just like, "Why are you sending this?" And I was confused. Like, "I don't know." Memories,
like,
right?
I missed like text under it or something. But yeah, you were just like memories, and then I felt bad because you were trying to be sentimental, and I was just like, "What? Why?" So
I just thought you would be like, "I know you," and then that's my old roommate. And then we were all at one time, together in a place.
You rarely send sentimental stuff to me, so that's why I was confused.
I did look much better then. I was very impressed with my body. Yeah, how good I looked. Now, not so much. Yeah. I'm not looking great, but it's a new year. My resolution is to lose a few pounds. I don't know about you, but I started walking again. So I'm walking in the morning, a couple miles. And I'm well on the way.
Mine is kind of the opposite.
You want to gain some weight?
Well, I think it's just a natural byproduct of the supplement I've been taking.
Mm-hmm. What are you taking?
No, I'm kidding. Creatine. So I would like to. I'm not really taking it for aesthetic reasons. I'm just hoping it will help with recovery because my body is broken 95% of the time.
Yeah.
But I did notice, and I don't know if I actually noticed. I think my mind is playing tricks on me, but I feel like I look extra jacked.
Oh, okay.
It takes about a couple weeks for it to get saturated into your muscles, and it's been about 2 weeks since I've been taking it. So every 5 minutes, of course, I'm flexing for the boyfriend. I'm like, "Can you see it yet?" He's like, "No."
Let's see.
Go away. Yep.
What do you get? Oh, you kind of got a long sleeve shirt on.
Oh, I got another shirt on there.
Okay.
Actually, Leslie gave me this shirt. Thank you. And Chuck. Yins are in Florida.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's hard to tell with the. You could see.
Oh wow. I mean, you kind of
really the back. Maybe the
you're
back.
always kind of jacked up, but I can't see now because I got to get the green screen. When you turn around, you disappear.
Dang.
Unfortunately, yeah, you kind of got the. I've said it before. The Matthew McConaughey arms from the AIDS movie.
No.
You kind of got. Hold on, let me pull it up. you kind of got his body. I mean, he looks good.
He has AIDS.
Yeah,
He
but
dies from AIDS.
what's
in
that movie called?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Thank you. Let me see if everybody else agrees here. Anna kind of has. Oh, this is the Brave browsers.
Yeah, that's the
there we
photo.
go. Perfect.
Yeah, it's
share this tab instead. Let me pull this up so you all can see it. This is Anna.
Yeah.
Right here.
I can't remember if it was at the Bone or on Bubba's show, but someone called in and said I looked like a really fit 55-year-old man.
Yep, exactly.
And that's the look I have, is like kind of not too big, not too jacked, not too slim.
Yep.
Fit and toned, but in a kind of masculine,
That's
not a yoga way, but more jacked way.
That's you. Right there. There's your body. You have Matthew McConaughey AIDS body.
Yeah.
Huh. Get rid of that.
I guess it could be worse.
I know you can do polls. How do I do a poll? I can't do it right now. So much has happened over so much has happened over the time we were away. There was terrorist attacks. There was the one in New Orleans that was terrible on New Year's Eve. That guy, the last I heard, they found out that he had visited Tampa, and they don't really know why that guy had visited Tampa. He had a homemade ISIS flag that he made himself, which is kind of weird that you could
like
buy
Susan
those.
B. Anthony,
Yeah, it's made his own, painted it. It looked terrible, but yes, he made his own flag, and it's kind of weird. Like, where do you buy one of those?
Probably not Amazon.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. You can buy a lot of stuff. I think
you just got to go to Michael's and kind of do it yourself. It's a DIY.
But there were some good ones. Some past terrorists have had some good flags, I feel like. Some like ones with creases in them that they were like bought and shipped, and they were like nice and crisp.
It's a great question. Like, where, if I wanted to get an ISIS flag, how would I go about doing that?
And like, if you wanted like a Confederate flag now, I feel like that would be easier to get than say like an ISIS flag.
Could you imagine if you worked like, I don't know, at Kinko's or wherever, one Prince t-shirts, and you're just like, wait a second.
Oh, you know where you get it? Flea market. People that make them there, they don't care.
Attention.
Yeah, they don't care.
Sorry, Radio St. Pete, but it's true.
They don't. It's I mean, she ain't wrong. I've been to a flea market.
Yeah, they don't care as long as you have the cash. They don't care.
Yeah,
what they're making.
And there was, I gotta say, the handmade made it seem a little more symbolic, but I think it's because I don't think this guy was like affiliated.
No, he was like inspired by ISIS, but not affiliated with ISIS.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that happened. That was terrible. And then there's same day, the guy, and this is what inspired this background. I made it on Twitter, by the way. But it's a Cybertruck with fireworks going off in the background in a radio studio. I don't know if y'all can tell that, but Grok made that. And that was outside of a Trump hotel. So I don't know about you, but I was thinking, oh, it's on. Like, we're back to fighting the war on terror. ISIS is back all of a sudden.
Oh, no, I didn't think that. I just thought some crazies were, I don't know, getting a bit rowdy on New Year's Day.
Are you at all concerned with, potential events happening?
I mean, I feel certainly more secure today than I did maybe November 4th.
Okay.
You feel way more secure.
I feel like, there is such a thing as a deep state, as we all know now. And maybe it'll take a few days off now that we got this new guy coming in. Maybe they won't be as...
It's a powerful force, but I just feel like now that daddy's back in office or almost back in office, people are going to start acting right. You know how they say when, especially a boy doesn't have a father, there's like a 20x higher probability they'll end up in prison.
Yeah, I've heard.
I feel like the same kind of goes with this country. When daddy's not home and you have an absent father, people start running amok and they act out of pocket. And then once daddy's home, everyone starts acting right. So that's kind of the feeling I get.
All right. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Sure.
This doesn't seem like a coordinated attack. It seems like, although there were some weird things with the Tesla guy too. He was like a
Fort Bragg. They were both at Fort Bragg,
Yeah.
both
Lots of
ex-military.
people were at Fort
I know, and
Bragg.
people were like, they're obviously related, and I was like, or connected. I was like, I don't know.
The suspicious thing to me was the ID. Like they found the guy's ID and he was apparently burnt to a crisp, but they found his ID intact from the car.
And that made you.
Well, it's just like, why is his ID not burnt up?
Yeah.
Why is his body, burnt beyond recognition? But his ID, like you can clearly make it out. It just gave me the vibes of we found the passports of the 9/11 hijackers in the World Trade Center rubble. And it's like,
some shenanigans or something.
I mean, like, could it happen? Sure. I mean, yeah, like, maybe, but it doesn't seem likely. So,
what was I going to ask about that? I completely forgot. Didn't he shoot himself in the head?
Yeah.
How did they know that if he was burnt to a crisp?
I guess you could do forensics, right?
Maybe, there's probably like a bullet lodged in his head. Duh on it, you idiot.
Yeah. But would that burn?
I don't know. I don't know anything about science. Like I've said before, people try to explain things to me. I'm like, by the way, I barely understand how electricity works. So that's kind of where I'm at. Okay. So maybe, grade level 3 is kind of what we're working with. He
was also reaching out to some podcaster supposedly in the weeks before and saying that he wanted to speak.
Shelton?
He's reaching out to the Moss Shelton show to get he wanted to talk with Pete Hegseth and the rapper that talks about the children being in tunnels or something.
The white Canadian guy with the tattoos or something.
I don't know.
And the braids.
I know there's some guy. I see it on. I follow Moss Shelton on the HMBradio page, and I see stuff sometimes. But thank you, Pillow Pants. He just sent a super chat. Choke me, mommy. Okay. WB, love y'all. What does WB mean? Is that some sort of code? I'm not going to get in trouble, are we? I hope not. But thank you, Pillow. Much appreciated.
I don't know.
So that happened. I saw drones outside of my house. I've been chronicling the drones from I went to New Jersey. I saw the drones in person. I was right in Trenton area and I did see the drones and it was freaky. And there were a lot of them. I told you I was all excited and you seem like you're just like, no,
I've been influenced by
the
boyfriend.
And your boyfriend messaged me, that son of a gun, and said it's airplanes. No, it wasn't. It wasn't airplanes. I know what an airplane is. This was not them, especially the ones in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Those were a different thing.
He seems to think that once people got wind of there being drones and everyone was freaking out about it, all these personal drone owners just started flying their drones everywhere to kind of create chaos.
That's plausible
because a lot of people have drones. And I asked my boyfriend, I was like, how many people have drones? He goes, so many people have drones on them. And it's true. My dad has like 4.
Yeah.
Do
they have lights on them like that?
I think they all do.
They all do. Okay. See, that seems like the ones I saw here when I saw it initially. I was like, maybe these things were always just flying around. I just didn't really pay attention. And now that was in New Jersey and I saw the drones, now I'm like, holy F, there's a drone. But it definitely is a drone. It's not an airplane.
Yeah.
For sure, it's a drone. And I was freaking out because I saw him on when I was driving to my dad's house for last weekend, or was it Christmas? I don't know. Some holiday, New Year. And I saw some. I was like, now I'm paranoid. I'm like the guy in Goodfellas, Ray Liotta, like driving. I'm looking for the drones. Like, oh, there's one. There wasn't as many as New Jersey, but there's a few. I saw quite a few. And my dad was like, they're probably planes, buddy. And I'm like, no, they're not. He pulled the boyfriend, your boyfriend on me. And I was like, they're not. But then he saw them the other day and sent me a video of 2 of them that he saw. And I'm like, yeah, those are the drones. That's what I was talking about. So I think I got him into it now. Okay. But I believe that it's probably right that it's somebody's drone that they're flying around. I mean, they seem like they're relatively small, flying relatively low. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm in the same boat as you. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like people that know more than me are telling me that it's probably just people being, doing shenanigans.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I wonder if we'll find out when the new guy takes over, the new president says that the government knows what it is.
Oh, and congratulations, because we now live on the coast of the Gulf of America.
That's right. I saw today, and I saw people freaking out online about it, very upset that apparently the new president, number 47, has claimed that he wants to name the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Now, who does he have the authority to do that, Anna?
Yeah, I was having this discussion with the boyfriend. I'm like, how does one go about changing such a name? I said, because I'm brilliant, I go, first you got to change it on the maps.
Well, we don't. Unfortunately, we don't
Change
make.
it on the, right. The
We don't
government
make
doesn't
any
just
maps.
right.
China makes the maps.
Exactly.
China.
Yeah, but they'll print anything. They don't care as long as you give them shmoneys.
At a press conference in Mar-a-Lago on Tuesday, President-elect Donald Trump said he wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. He says, we do most of the work there, and it's ours. He did not give an exact date for the change, but noted it would be announced pretty soon. What a beautiful name, he continued. It's appropriate. Marjorie Taylor Greene took to social media to share her support. Oh, is this him saying it?
Yeah.
Let's see.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate.
Yeah.
It's appropriate.
Okay.
He is the best. You know, it's one of those things you never knew you needed until you have it. That's kind of what this feels like.
How did Mexico get the Gulf?
I don't
Now
know.
I'm like,
I
how did
looked at
things
a
name?
map. Most of it is America, and then like the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But like it's the Yucatan Peninsula. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I don't know how it
Mexico
works.
got the score.
I'm so interested in how things are named now. I got to figure that out. And then he also said he wants to buy Greenland
Which makes sense.
again. I don't know why.
Oh, China's trying to do some stuff there militarily, and they actually tried to build an airport, and they were going to do it, and then America reached out to Denmark because, by the way, Greenland's not a country; it's a province of Denmark, and America was like, "You got to shoot this down, Denmark." So they did, because otherwise we would have suffocated them with tariffs and whatnot.
Oh.
So because the ice caps are melting, they're using the Arctic, especially during summer, as a route from like China to Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it's for like a strategic route for trade
I
and
see.
stuff like that. So and also, I didn't know this until yesterday, Greenland is full of minerals and stuff. I think they got uranium. They got a lot of oil, which is something that people like and can use, at least for now.
Right.
So Greenland would be the place to do it. And it's part of North America, and it's giant. There's not that many people that live there. It would be certainly a win for us. So
He's talked about that Canada should join
Oh my
America
God.
as well, and the Panama Canal. I kind of get, because
didn't we?
U.S. built it, but we had a lease on it, and I think that we ended up ceding it back to Panama. But I don't know why we did that.
Did we look up? I can't remember if it was with you or someone else. When the Panama Canal was built.
It's a fascinating story, and I remember looking this up many times over my. It was like
Wait, can we guess?
Now. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, I think it's 1857 or 1860.
Okay,
I
let's
feel like-
see. Panama Canal. When was it built? 1889. Started in 1881, but stopped in 1889. So 1881
Okay,
is when
yeah,
it
not
started.
far off.
And then U.S. took over control in 1904 and opened the canal in 1914. Okay, so that was a long time ago. I know a lot of people died. But it was like a really game changer as far as.
Oh yeah, for trade
Yeah, because you used to have to go around South
the
America.
Cape of Good Hope or whatever, the bottom of South America.
took
Now you didn't have to do
forever.
that. You didn't have to do the Vasco da Gama route. You could do
No.
it,
No.
quicker, way quicker.
And that must mean something to WB, because Garrett, thank you, Garrett, says that's gross, pillowcase, gag yourself back to sobriety. So I don't know what that means. No fighting, please. We're not fighting in the new year. We do got to go, Anna, from the free portion.
Oh my word!
It's already a half an hour. The Bone issued their new lineup this past week.
Oh no!
I have some thoughts on it. So we're gonna do that in the uncensored extra bonus time that we do. And I would encourage you to head over to hmbradio.substack.com. You can sign up. It's really cheap. You can even sign up for free. You'll get the podcast early. There's some free perks there as well. And otherwise, Radio St. Pete, we wish you good day. And podcast listeners, we wish you a fine, good day as well. We'll talk to you next week. If you're listening on the live stream or YouTube, stick around. So we're going to start right now. What the fuck happened? The new bone. Okay, let's just get rid of this. Let me go to the website. I didn't want to talk about another radio station, even though, Radio St. Pete, just a rinky dink, operation. So, but I said, oh man, I just got a whiff of your perfume and it almost choked me out. Oh my gosh, I need a drink.
I'm probably making it worse by doing that. Sorry about that. Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
God.
I know you could probably taste it.
I sure can.
Sorry about that.
So let's go to the on air here. So let's go over the new lineup. If you don't know, they had a change. There was a change.
Probably the biggest shakeup since I've been in Florida.
Yes, there have been a few. Since I've been at the Bone, there's been a few like monumental, like, whoa, this changes things. And one of them was when Roger and JP got to the Bone.
You weren't around for that. You weren't.
I was.
You weren't working.
Yes, I was. I wasn't on air, but I was working promotion.
Oh, okay.
At that time. So, and I remember people being very upset when Roger and JP came here because I think Shannon Burke was let go, and then they brought in Roger and JP.
Shannon Burke.
Yeah, the Burkster, as I call him.
I love that man.
But he left or something. The station, the picture that we took, there was a picture that we took for the 10-year, or it was a group
I have
photo.
it. Yeah.
And there was so many people there.
Should I find it?
Yeah, I mean, I
have
could probably find it too. But it was probably like 25 deep as far as on-air staff.
This must have been 2017, 18, something.
That sounds
like that.
right. I mean, obviously you were still there. So I can't remember. It was like an event where they wanted to take a group shot from the Bone.
Oh, I remember when I thought we were all going to get killed. Do you remember that guy, Craig?
Yeah.
And he wasn't right. And I remember they went, everybody come to the front for a photo. And this was not just the Bone. This was all of the Cox Media Group Tampa goes toward the stage, take a photo, except Craig. And I'm like, oh my God. I remember hiding behind you. I'm like, I'm going to get shot by this guy.
Yeah. He was one of our board operators. I do remember him.
Yeah.
But I brought that up because just how many people were on the Bone.
Yes,
at
quite a
point.
few.
And it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So when the announcement was made that Roger and JP were departing the Bone, I went, whoa, this is kind of wild. Obviously, I haven't been doing much work. In fact, I've been doing no work on the Bone. I'm still technically employed, but I was like, well, this is maybe an opportunity. Sorry for losing that show, but listen, I'm here and I'm willing and able.
This is how the business works.
And I'm local.
Yeah.
I'm here in Tampa as well, ready to go. And so I wrote our program director, got no response for a period of time. Then I kind of heard things through the grapevine about what was happening. Finally got an email back from my program director there, and he said, well, let's talk next week. So I was thinking, okay, this could be good. Now I wasn't thinking, obviously I knew I wasn't going to be a part of the main shakeup, but I thought since our old pal Johnny B was now moved to middays, named the host of the after show, the Mike Calta after show, maybe that time slot is available, and maybe old Billy Boy could sneak in there and do some nighttime.
That'd be nice.
I was like, okay, cool. That must be what it is. I also got like texts from people that I haven't talked to that were radio affiliated, and I was like, do they know something? Like, what's going on? I just felt like it was going to happen. I heard the lineup drop on the Mike Calta show. They went through the whole thing, and I was like, okay, so that's not that's not happening. That's how I found out that in fact was not happening. And
didn't you get we won't blow up who told you, but we did get word of what the lineup was.
I had heard, and he was almost, there was one thing that was wrong in there. Oh, you know what? I wonder if he did that on purpose. You know how like Trump will sometimes like tell you something and then add one thing that's not true, and then if it gets leaked, you know who leaked it because they'll leak the wrong information.
I don't know if
He is pretty
clever.
devious, but I don't think he's that smart. And I didn't tell anybody. So, well, I told you actually,
that doesn't count.
but so I had heard what was going to happen, and it was basically right except for one thing. So here's the lineup now. Here's the new lineup: Sans, Roger, and JP. I'm sure you all know this. Mike Halta show. We knew that 6 to 10. JP solo.
And it's just called JP. JP show, not the JP show, just JP. Who is a fan favorite? I'm a big fan of JP.
I like JP too. You know, and then it's Monica and Dizzy is also there. So one of the speculations that I had heard was that obviously John Sending is kind of the heir apparent. John's great. You know, I love John. But I was like, there's no way they're going to break up John and Drew. They have a really
Strong
good
duo.
thing going. They're just locking down after. They're just crushing, killing it. Now, John was due though for this. This is something that he wanted, and I was surprised to see that John Sending does have his own show now from 1 to 4, which is pretty wild. Now, I guess Drew is joining for 1 hour at 3, and then Drew Garabo takes over from 4 to 7 with a cat named Mo. I noticed that there's no Drew Garabo live with a cat named Mo, but just Drew Garabo live. And then on Wednesdays, you got Ask the Dom. Ask the Dom is still around 8 to 10. As far as that, that's it. There ain't no more nighttime. Cat named Mo show is gone. Poor Spike is out on his keister.
No Wells.
No, well, I don't think Wells has been around for a long time, but actually, I don't know. I don't, believe it or not, I don't listen that much.
And no Billy.
And no Bilbo. No Bilbo. Bilbo did not get the nod. I thought it was his time. You know, I was thinking a lot about this. So I had thought initially that when I heard that it was, I heard that JP might be coming back, and I go, you know, it would be kind of at least the name of it, JP and JB.
That was a great prediction, and I honestly thought that was going to come to fruition.
Because I heard they gave little hints that it was like a mix of some old, some new, and I was like, okay, so it's going to be Johnny. Because why would they just have Johnny do an hour?
Because he's already there.
He's
They're
already
both
there.
Strong personalities. I think JP and JB, it kind of sounds cool.
Yep.
And B, I think that their personalities, although they know each other, but I assume not well.
I've heard JP say kind things about Johnny
and the other way around.
Years.
So I could totally see that meshing as a duo. And no, I really thought Johnny was going to get that show with JP.
I thought so too, and I was like, okay, good. This is gonna. And then you got Mo there, and then I can just jump in and take Johnny's slot. And I was like, you know, bittersweet, happy for Johnny. You know, I know he wanted to work, you know, in the mornings and make money and do radio. Of course, I'm a little salty at Johnny, as we well know. I gotta be honest.
Don't lie.
I gotta be honest. I know that everybody's saying how great this is. Like, I follow the Facebook groups, and I understand the personalities, keeping it positive. You have to. This is not good. I mean,
Will keeps it real.
You have the heavy hitters, and just so you know, after 7 p.m., doesn't matter what's on. You don't have to listen to it. You don't. Nighttime used to be a time to develop talent. You know, it was like people that want to do it. So,
like you and I,
the talent that was there working was ready to could step in with anybody and do a show, or another, you know, maybe another CMG station needed a morning show or something. And this would be the perfect training grounds, because this radio station is like a heavy hitter. The personalities on here are all from top to bottom, as much as it pains me to say, some of them are really good.
Yeah.
And everybody could do a fine job. So now there's just 2 shows are gone. Cat Named Mo show is gone, and Johnny B show is gone.
Well,
what?
Back.
What do you mean?
Well, Johnny's doing his show streaming live, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, good. He's been talking about this since I've known him. So I hope he does. Yeah, he should. He should. That'd be good. It's just, so now it's like, how many people work at the Bone now on air staff? You got Mike Calza, you got Galvin, Carmen, Geo,
Pap, Johnny.
That's the whole show, right? It's
Yeah.
5 now.
I think so.
They used to have a lot more. Then you got Johnny.
Yeah.
So that's 6. You got JP, Monica, Dizzy, Stenning. So that's 10. Dizzy carries over.
Yeah.
And then Drew Mo. So that's 12. 12 people are voices of that station now.
I really do want to find that photo of us because it was all of us.
By the way, shout out. I was listening today on Monday. Somebody called in and said John Brennan was in this. They asked John Brennan, is Will still doing Saturdays? And do you know what John's answer was?
I think I do.
What is it?
The question was, is Will still doing Saturdays?
Is Will still doing his medical show on Saturday?
Oh, no. I thought the question was like, is Will still working? And then he said, yeah. And then they go on what shows? And they go, he's on any shows.
They asked if Will's still doing his Saturday show, the Saturday morning show.
Yeah.
And John, my boss's answer was, I don't know. Which is insane. Crazy.
Does that mean he doesn't know because like that show could resign because they have like a 3-month contract?
No.
Oh,
what that means is I have no idea. And he said, I don't really know what's going on in the weekends. Apparently our webcam has been compromised by your odor as well. We're moving a little slow.
I'm sorry.
But so and then I still haven't talked to John. So I don't think I heard that as of now there's no night programming, and also as of now he doesn't know what's going on for the weekend. So that's my answer. I don't need to talk to anybody. But shout out to somebody who called in and said, pitch to John Brennan. I have a show idea for you. And he said, okay. And he goes, how about Clowning with Kuncz from 7 to 8, which I really liked.
And you don't know who it was.
I don't know who it was. It's probably one of these people in here. But thank you to whoever did that. That's a lot of fun. But this is bad for everybody. For the listeners, it's bad. There's just less live content going on the radio. For a talk station, that's not good. I get the, sort of get the business aspect of it. I know that there's monetary restrictions and they're cutting, trying to, keep a station going. So I don't at the same time, in management's defense, I don't know what I don't know. So yeah. I'm sure that there's things behind. I know that hours are an issue, like for part-time employees, hours are an issue, but hours don't seem to be an issue for some people. Some people just get hours out the behind. Now maybe they're pooled.
Reason why?
That's a good question. So the only people that this is a winner for, as far as the station, is John Senning getting his own show and Dizzy were the big winners of this
shakeup.
Now John is contracted. I don't know if he signed a new deal with being a host or how that works. Probably not. I mean, he probably just has his own show now and he's on the same contract. And Dizzy is,
and we are let's be happy for John, because John.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
Yeah. Just so we're clear, John Senning is awesome. I meant to text him like 3 times and forgot every single time, so I'll try to do that tonight. But congrats to John, because he deserves it. I know that Drew was out sick for quite a few months, right? And John hosted that show and he did a phenomenal job. So
he did.
Hats off to him.
I'm stoked for John, and it's it's time for him.
And John has a superpower. We've discussed this, where no one dislikes him.
That's true.
It's really bizarre. There's plenty people, I know there's lots of bits and pieces of my personality that are not very likable and digestible. Same with you. But like, we're not for everybody. But John Senning is for everybody. He's for the whites.
Yeah.
He's for the blacks.
Mm-hmm.
He's for the left. He's for the right. I know that, of what I remember, he was kind of a center right kind of guy, but he goes to the reggae fest. Yep. He's a hippie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody, young and old children, old people. John is just so fucking likable.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it
Me
because obviously we're particularly in the past few years, politics have been very, very much heated, and when you speak your opinion, oftentimes people just don't like you anymore because you speak a certain opinion. But John has seemed to finagle his way around that, which is a skill, is a huge skill, and I'm very envious of that skill because I don't have that.
Yeah.
I
Me
don't have
neither.
that. And then Dizzy, I'm not calling him Dizzy. His name's Gareth. Oh, Gareth. I have a new name for him. Gareth Two-Face.
What the hell?
Because like Jacob 2 times. Old Gareth Two-Face. What the helling about?
I don't know.
Did you come up with that?
No, I didn't come up with that.
Okay, I came up with it.
All right. Let it fly. Just let it fly.
Well, Gareth, I don't like because just to give you a quick rundown, he did Johnny B for whatever reason went on Gareth's podcast when I don't think he does his anymore either, and vented his grievances when I left. When I left, Gareth was like, "Man, I really respect what you did. That took a lot of guts, whatever." I don't know, thank you. And then on his podcast, he kind of trashed me a little bit and said that I should know my place, et cetera, et cetera. And I didn't like that because it's a two-faced thing to do because you act one way to somebody's face and then, behind their back, you say the complete opposite, which is not a good way
he just
to
kind
be.
of panders to whoever he's in front of. Sort of thing.
He's a clout chaser, I believe he's been called.
I mean, I'm a cloud chaser too, to some degree.
It's funny because somebody very prominent called him that, and now he's working. Anyway.
Well, just so you know, him and John Senning were really the only two that kind of shook things up over the last decade.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So I just want to let you
know.
There's
no conception of history or just lives in the moment. You really shook things up by drawing dicks on the wall and almost got fired.
What?
That. He drew dicks on the
dolls?
No, and remember in the studio they had that fake COVID glass that didn't work and was just like
like the
there.
plexiglass.
Yeah, he drew dicks on that. Got in trouble.
That's kind of funny.
It is, but he got in trouble for that. I remember he shook things up that way. I remember he claimed that he dipped his penis in a Gatorade that Monica drank, and he almost got fired for that, but ended up being not true. So I mean, like he's done things and he's made a name for himself. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely done that. He smooched the right buns, and has been doing well for himself. But this is just my opinion. I don't like him for that simple reason because he two-faced me, and I don't understand how he's able to. He claims that he shook things up. He's also available. He can show up in the middle of the day to answer phones for Roger and JP. And I thought he was like a young guy, but I found out semi-recently that he's like 36, 37 years old, I believe.
Which is not old.
It's not old.
It's not old at all, in fact.
It's
It's the new 27.
You're getting old at that point. You're getting old. So I don't know how I know what the hourly pay is for the radio station.
Yeah.
I know how much they pay. I know that he works, less than full time because you can't be full time. Actually, I don't know that. Maybe he is full time now.
Probably not.
I'm gonna say probably not. I know that Geo got full time.
Oh, good. He's only been there for 20 years.
Right. And I sent him a message too and said, "Hey, congratulations." Left me on red.
No.
Yeah.
It said red.
Left me on red. Didn't heart it. Didn't respond. Never. I'll never do that again. Don't worry.
Didn't you say something to Gio one time or text him and then you were like, I'm never texting him again?
Yes.
And then you texted him again.
Well, I texted him congratulations when he got full time because I'm I'm happy and jealous at the same time. Good for you, dude. And pained me when I just saw the red and no response. So
Gio's been known to hurt people's feelings, and by people I mean me.
Yeah. I've heard.
I loved Gio when I first started. He was awesome. He's funny. He's I don't know. In a lot of ways, he's just the best. And then it was my fault, but I was phone screening for the BDRS, which was a show, around 2017, 2016.
Yeah.
And I was like paying attention to the chat, like to the boys chatting in the room, Johnny B, Mo, and Gio. and they're pointing at the phone. I was just in a trance, and he took the phone and he like lifted it up and like shook it in my face. It really startled me. And I started crying on the air, but I was doing like the verklempt thing. It was really bad. And ever since then, it wasn't quite the same. I still have love for Geo. So.
Yeah. Well,
he clearly doesn't for you. So.
Good for him. Yeah. No, I guess not. That's fine. I'll never text him again.
I'll remind you in 4 years when you try to text him again.
Yeah. But so Dizzy's available. My theory on him, Garrett Two-Face, sorry, that's his name. I call him that. He's 40. He must be an aristocrat. He must be. So what I know about him, I know he's recent U.S. citizen.
He's Canadian, right?
Grew up in Canada. I don't know if he was born somewhere else. My theory is that his parents must be like either his mom or dad is like a doctor or a lawyer, or not a lawyer, like an engineer, something in STEM.
Okay.
And that's why he immigrated, here, might be the H-1B visa thing, that controversy that's going on. But I think that he's able to have his lifestyle subsidized. Like, I think his dad's probably like I said, an engineer or a doctor, and he's seeing his son who's passionate about something. Okay, I'm going to subsidize. I see that you're working towards something. Because there's no way that you could afford to live and work in the middle of the day. And you're working what? JP is...
Maybe he has another job.
When do you have time?
I don't know.
Maybe it's right in the middle of the day.
Maybe it's a remote thing or gig thing or weekend thing. I don't know. People do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry about the camera. I don't know what's going on. It's really
just take
bugging
off
me.
The background. Would that be better?
Oh, should I try that? Maybe I'll try that.
I don't know. I'm just brainstorming.
How do I do that?
I don't know,
Settings, dude. Virtual background. None. Oh, is that working? Oh, that is working.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Now you get to see the messy apartment. Anyway, that's better than the alternative. So my theory is that his dad, I already said it. So he's an aristocrat. He's able to work these hours. One of the funny things about him is he was just trashing me on air, which is hilarious because that's what an animal does. It wasn't like, oh, he's mad because I kind of two-faced him behind his back. I kind of see his point. It was, I'm going on the attack. And he had the audience, to go ahead and do that. I kind of have you all, God bless you. But
what show was that on? Was that on?
It was on Mike. Oh, he was doing it all over the place.
Mike's, that's
every single one, he was trashing me. Now I hate him even more.
Which is unfortunate because he was on every show. He's been on every show.
Yeah. Oh man, in fact, I got text messages from people like, you gotta do something. I'm like, I can't do anything.
I don't know. Do something. Who are these people telling you to do something?
I don't know. Like, I can't do anything.
You're right. I'm gonna go up there and beat his ass.
Yeah. That's like, what am I gonna do? Fight him? No. It's not a thing. Yeah.
Shame.
It's a whole to do, but so like I said, I don't know. I good for you. Congratulations. Enjoy making that paper, that midday paper. There's no way he has another job.
What do you think over under on the bone in terms of time? Because it seems like it's dwindling and dwindling. It doesn't seem like they're cultivating any new talent.
No, certainly not.
Yeah, they're not leaving the late hours of the night to kind of let newer personalities build up their chops, which is thankfully what you and I got to do, which was super cool because I don't think the ratings really mattered. It was in safe harbor.
Yeah.
So we could kind of just get away with a lot more, which is great when you're learning. And much like you said earlier, every time someone leaves or quits or gets fired, they do not replace them. So it seems like, and I don't know, Eric Nagel is going to tell us a lot about this next week, just the state of radio and where it's headed, which is nowhere good. I just don't really see the bone in the future after, say, Kelta and Drew's contracts are up.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there is, people there that they could put John Senning in the mornings. Galvin's still there. I don't know. I mean, like the speculation it's hard, but Dizzy's still there.
Yeah.
Or Garrett Two-Face. Sorry. I keep
just doesn't really have a ring to it.
Jacob 2 times Garrett Two-Face.
Okay.
It does.
Is it Gareth or Garrett?
I think it's Gareth with an H. Yeah. So
I give the bone like 5 more years,
yeah,
something like that.
I mean, I'm still here. I'll do afternoons by myself. I'm
Right,
just
but
saying.
not if it becomes 102.5 Maxima.
Yeah, they already got one of those. Maybe they want a bigger tower though. So maybe we'll switch it out, swap it out. I don't know. Joe, I'm sorry. Now he's upset because I can't pay attention to the chat. There's
Joe, what
he's
do you
mad.
want?
He's mad because he suggested taking the background off earlier. Sorry. I can't see. There's a lot of chats in here.
Yeah, they're all Joe.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe they'll have some time here in the next few months to what John Brennan's message was, I think, which counts as our meeting in the morning show, was that as of right now, there is no added content on the weekends or at night.
As of right now, I don't know.
But maybe
John Brennan.
Maybe in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Let's placate Joe for a second, because clearly he wants to talk about me.
Yeah.
It's my favorite topic.
Right.
I was on 1210 WPHT, which is funny because it's almost the Bones call signal.
Yeah.
Which is
HPT.
WHPT.
Right.
And so this is PHT, which was in Philly, which was super cool. I know I kind of teased it last time we had a show 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. And I said that I was going to be working with a prominent name in the local radio industry, and it was Shannon Burke. I didn't want to blow that up because, I mean, for those that get it, you get why that would be an issue. For some people, not for me, not really for Shannon, but kind of for Shannon. Anyways, went great. So I got to do that. And then the Thursday and Friday of last week, I got to work in with Kale and Company, which was super cool. Mm-hmm. They were so nice to me. They used the word broad for a female and then said, "Sorry, Anna." And I was like, I don't get it. And they're like, "Oh, well, some people get it." And I go, my last boss called me a cunt every day. Broad is welcome. Thank you so much for calling me a broad and not that dumb bitch. So they were just so nice and so sweet and so welcoming. And I tried to do a good job of not being summoned to talk. You want to act like you've been there before, but also I didn't want to step on any toes.
Yeah.
So I was just like super dialed in, trying to listen. And when someone would take a breath or pause, I'd kind of go in there and then back up. And I just felt like I was boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really tactfully.
That's tough too, because you were remote from Tampa,
right?
Doing a show in Philadelphia with people in the studio.
Yeah.
That's challenging enough when you're going in and talking to people that you don't know,
right?
Let alone having to do it where you're remote. And even if you're on camera, it's still not the same.
There's a tiny bit of a delay, and also you can kind of, when you're in studio with people, you can communicate with your face, which is helpful. If you can see the face, you can go like, oh, you can see when someone wants to say something. So I didn't have that at all. So I had to have my ears at 100% focus. And I think it went great. Like, I'm not patting myself on the back. It went smoothly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like, oh, there was a knockout of the park performance. None of that. It was just, it went so smoothly. And I felt like I did the best that I could for my first few days working with them.
Yeah.
So
you did great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was, it was weird. I was really, I don't want to say I was dreading it, because obviously I'm super excited, but then it's like, I hate being nervous. I hate and I know nobody likes it, obviously, but I really oh man, I'm going to be so nervous next week. And I was, and then all of a sudden the day before I was like, I'm ready to go. And I just started prepping the show like a motherfucker, like helping them out in every way that I could, sending them links to stuff in a very organized fashion. And they asked me to do a few things. I had those set ready to go. So it just, it went great.
Sweet. Well, I hope that there's more to come for you there. I wrote a program director and custom out.
Oh my God. Did you read? Oh, maybe not.
I'll do that next week, because
do that with Eric.
There's a fucking dickhead program director.
You've been having
I'll never work for
like 4 or 5 months.
It's enraging. I just got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore, and I sent him a very nasty email. We're going to talk about that next week, though, because we're going to have Eric Nagel, formerly known as E-Rock from the Opie and Anthony Show, now host of the Eric Nagel Show, one of the few people who's still employed in radio, will be joining us next
this
week in the
super cool
second
dude.
half. Yeah.
Super cool dude. He was probably it was so funny. So I met him at Morning Show Boot Camp, and everybody at Morning Show Boot Camp, God bless them. It was such a fun experience, and I'm trying to drag Will there for this one in August. Everybody is a music radio DJ, and they're just like, ah! Like every time we talk to somebody, and there were a couple hundred people there.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, what's who? And everyone's like trying to be a bigger personality than the other one. And it was giving me anxiety to the point where I had to go upstairs and do like Sudoku for a few hours alone. Like I had to get just away from that energy.
Right.
I meet Eric in passing. I'm beelining it to lunch for my second plate of food. And Corey Dillon, our friend Corey Dillon, was there, and she goes, Anna, this is Eric. Eric, this is on. And he goes like, oh, who do you work for? Or who do you work for? I'm like, I'm unemployed, but I work for Bubba. And he goes, Bubba? Work for Bubba the Love Sponge? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you know who that is? He's like, oh yeah. He goes, I worked with O&A. And I went, O&A? And then we just beelined it, and we went into like a corner and talked for like 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
Although I did drag him back to the buffet with me to get a second plate. But yeah, he's great. He's awesome. And he's just a wealth of information when it comes to radio and kind of what's happening, what's going to happen. And yeah, and not to say misery loves company, but it is nice to be around people who just like who are going through what you're going through.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to talking to him. So we're going to do that next week in the bonus portion. So I guess we'll keep it at 6 for the time being. So 6:30, we'll have Eric Nagel next week. And I'll tell you about the program director that I cussed out. I'll tell you. I
was shocked. Will, I was shocked. Did you send it in a blind rage?
Not in a blind rage, but like, I just wanted this fucker to know, like, you blew it. You blew it. And, I wasn't getting any anyway, I'll save the story for next week. But, yeah, I don't have anything. I felt like I didn't have anything to lose. Now, could he potentially, somebody down the line brings my name up? Oh, no, fuck that guy. I don't like, maybe. But
can I be honest with you? You know how I've been doing a lot of digging on everyone and everything. Nobody knows who this guy is.
Yeah, I know.
I would meet up with people. I would see like a common connection, and we would have maybe like he and I had 30 common connections, me and this program director. I reached out to almost all of them, and I go, do you know this guy? No. Do you know this guy? No. Do you know this guy? No. Because they were all common connections on LinkedIn. Nobody knows who he is. And nobody knows his game plan. And just, yeah. Well, Will and I were kind of vying for the same gig.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty much any gig that comes up, we're kind of competition with each other.
Yeah.
Ideally, it would be both of us.
Sure.
But, that's probably rare that that would happen these days. No, Joe, I'm not going to tell it. No, I won't forget, because we're going to be talking to a radio person. So you got to tune in. That's called a teaser. Next week, 6:30, we'll have Eric Nagel. We'll get into that. And then we'll have, fun stories. Hopefully it's better than exploding, trucks and trucks running people over and drones. I'm hoping to have some good news.
Mystery fog.
Some of the, mystery fog. I got feedback from a friend of mine over the break. He was like, hey, can I be honest with you? And I said, sure. And he goes, I watch your podcast from time to time when it pops up on YouTube. And you were really funny on the radio. I really liked when you would talk to callers and stuff and, make fun of them. And I said, I know, I miss that too. That was fun. And then he goes, it's just kind of negative. Podcast is kind of negative. He also said, you got to do something about your background, which I agree. I tried today and it didn't work. So we'll try to figure something else out. That my old setup, it was just big enough for that big giant homemade broadcast sign that I have.
Where is that in the garage?
Yeah, it's in the garage. It's not going to fit here. It's not going to work at the angle. So I got to buy a green screen, I guess. I hope, will the green screen stop from what happened?
I don't know, but I know that I have a green screen. Well,
yeah,
Chris has a green screen.
Okay.
So maybe we could bring it over.
All right.
I did something kind of dirty, naughty over the Christmas break.
Involving butt?
No, not involving the anus. It was a cheap way for me to get some confidence and self-esteem, and I don't regret it. So, I've been training jiu-jitsu for a while.
Right.
Close to 3.5 years. Okay. I'm not very good. I should be much better than I am at 3+ years of training. And at my gym, I am not very good. I always get smashed and I always get submitted, and it makes me sad. So we had the week off for my gym because the owners went to California. They're actually from San Diego, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, the fires are burning.
Yes,
too. Oh,
the
my
fire.
God.
Everyone that I know is okay, thankfully. So I go, you know what? I'm itching to take a jiu-jitsu class. Let me take one. And I went to, do you know these like UFC gyms?
Mhm.
Like there's one in Largo.
Yeah.
So of course, being the Jew that I am, I'm like, I think I can get a free class. So of course I pretend to be interested in the gym. I am not. I just want to take a jiu-jitsu class. I show up and I didn't realize that it was day one jiu-jitsu. Welcome to jiu-jitsu. This is jiu-jitsu. So I pretended like a fucking asshole that I've never done
Did
jiu-jitsu
you
before.
fuck people up, and were they like, dude, you're really good. You're like the best.
Will, they were children.
Oh no.
So I am pretending to look confused. He's explaining things. I'm like, what? What's a guard? What is side control? And one of the other instructors, like there's two guys who are instructing. One of them is like helping me learn the basics. Bitch, I've been doing this for years, but I'm playing dumb. And then all of a sudden he's like, all right, we're going to do some drills. And I just start fucking mauling
Beating up
people.
kids.
Just mauling people. At one point, there was this prepubescent boy, maybe 13, gangly. You know, the gangly look.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
he's on the precipice
Uh-huh.
of puberty. Okay.
Right.
Like
right.
in a summer, he's gonna be jacked, but
Yeah.
right now he's a skinny little bitch.
Yeah.
So the instructor, I don't know why he said this, but he came up to me, he goes, I'm gonna put you with someone smart. Like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know if he just thought I would, I don't know. I look smart. I wasn't wearing glasses. Anyways, he puts me with this fucking kid, and I am obviously messing with him. I get him in a headlock. Okay. And I'm just holding him there. I look over at the instructor, and the instructor says, choke him out. So I'm like, okay, shove his head, and I rip it. He's like, he didn't even know how to tap. He just starts screaming.
Yeah.
And
What's his first class?
Right. It is his first class, and he is a child. And I did that to a few other people. The other ones were like grown men, you know, maybe in their 20s. But I felt so great after, even though it was a
Kick
child.
somebody's ass.
It was a child's first day at class, and I beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And you would think, you're like, Anna, like, how do you feel good about beating him? I did. I felt so good. I go, I'm a god. Yes,
Mhm.
I'm a beast on the mats.
Was the instructor like, you got some real potential?
No.
here.
He goes, he was just like, are you fucking? He's like, you've trained before. And I'm
Oh,
like,
he knew.
yeah. Well, of course, no one just like starts doing these random moves they have never learned. And it was just so funny. He's like, he literally was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh,
You're
sorry.
banned.
Yeah. So it was super fun, and I had a great time.
You probably could have hurt the kid. I
No
get
doubt.
why he's.
He
why
didn't even
he's
know how to
pissed.
tap, which
Yeah.
is like that. He
Right.
just goes, he was just like, ah!
Flailing. Oh, poor guy.
But it was
And
awesome.
he's got a complex now too, because some tiny girl beat him
Yeah,
up.
muscle mommy. That's
Muscle
who I am.
mommy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's great. That's great.
Anyways, it was fun.
Good
I would
times.
do it again.
I got some new stickers in. If you want one,
Ooh, let me see.
email me thehomemadebroadcast@gmail.com. We'll get you some of those. We're gonna get this up on Substack now if you're audio only. It's a good way to support the show. You know, I keep it as cheap as possible. You can sign up. I think a year is $50 is as cheap as I could make it, and $5 a month if you don't want to do that. You know, it's good. Yeah.
Wait, did you
help
call out the chat? Was it Pillow Pants?
Yep. Pillow Pants and Garrett did a super chat.
Yes,
so
and
thank
Garrett, thank
guys.
you.
Garrett.
I hope
yeah.
everyone had a great Christmas or holiday, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you did.
Same. Sorry, Joe. I'm doing my best to keep up with the chat, but don't get upset at me. I don't always see. So sorry. And that's a good thing that I got so many messages here. Most of them are Joe, I will say.
Joe.
But,
Joe has a giant tattoo of Hulk Hogan on his back.
oh man, I had a story about the Hulkster too. I have to say that. I don't know if
I
that's
don't
going
know.
to
Yeah, go
be
ahead.
evergreen by next week.
Probably not, but I don't mind going a little over.
The Hulkster got booed.
He got booed
at
pretty
Raw.
bad. I'm pretty sure Joe is aware of what happened, but it was uncomfortable.
It was.
I actually was watching it live, which is embarrassing.
You did?
Dude, the boyfriend was like, I haven't watched wrestling in a while. Like, I just want to see who's there. I'm like, okay. So we're watching. And then we're like, is he getting booed? And then it just got louder and louder and louder. It was bad. It was uncomfortable.
What's the deal? Why does everybody hate Hulk?
Well, I think there's two reasons. A, he said the N-word.
That was a long time ago.
People don't forget. The internet.
I feel like he was getting. I feel like he did an event since then and did well. Like people were forgetting that.
And B,
I feel like the wrestling crowds too probably pretty flagrant.
And
word.
B, yeah, because it was in LA. People think because it was more of a liberal crowd, and he obviously did the RNC.
Oh,
and so
right.
that's what I thought it might be, but I
that's
forgot about
true.
the N-word thing.
Yeah, I think
So-
it's probably you're right. It's probably there, and of course the tab won't open right now. Oh, there we go. All right. Oh, so we can.
He's
watch
all
it real
mad.
quick.
What are you mad at? Like, people don't like me.
There it is. Hulk Hogan booed. I think there's a video here of it. Yeah, there we go.
I like how that guy just pretending they're cheers.
Yeah.
Yay!
You're right. It's the RNC appearance, and it was in LA. That's
But
totally what it
also-
is. And now guess what's happened in LA?
Fires.
Fire, fire, fire.
But here's the thing, and maybe you know more than me, or maybe you don't. But aren't like wrestling people kind of more righter wing, or no?
I don't know. I think it transcends politics. Like it's really not. And I think
It's a
there's
crapshoot.
probably, I would say if you took a poll, probably maybe like, 70-30, but I bet you there's, libs that watch wrestling.
Yeah, because I was like, who's the demographic? And Joe, I know it's you. But
Joe said, I put up a poll like, with the new Bone lineup and live content ending at 7, should we maybe flip it to 7 or 8? And Joe was like, wrestling's on at 8.
I know.
Can't do it.
No, he's big into the wrestling, and I think E-Rock is too. And I'm not trying to, talk smack or anything, but I consider people who are really into wrestling, like wrestling fans, like they're almost the same type of people that go to Comic-Con. Is that fair that there's like
it's fandom in general?
Fandom.
Yeah, I think that's what you call it. Like you're just into a thing.
Well, would you consider like sports fans fandom, or no? That's different. Because I feel like this is almost like a cosplay.
Yeah, it's different.
Like
It's
no
different.
offense, but like kind of weird white people.
Yeah.
Weird black people.
Well,
You-
just kind of,
Weird people.
I guess weird people.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I liked wrestling as a kid. I still have some affinity for. I haven't watched it in a long time. And yes, it's predetermined, but they are athletes. They sacrifice their bodies. It's like real in that sense where they actually are getting hurt and, doing damage to themselves. It's a soap opera with athleticism involved in it. So I get it. I'm not going to, disparage it. It's not my cup of tea. I don't watch anything though, really anymore. I watch bourbon reviews and like,
yeah, that's boring.
Podcasts,
Yeah.
like political podcasts. So like, but that's really all I watch. So, but I don't have anything against it. It's just not my bag.
I just don't understand because, and no offense, but they do the same moves over. There's only so many ways you can smash someone on the ground with your balls. Like,
Well,
you know what I mean? So it's like, how is everyone shocked, surprised, impressed when you've seen that same move 80 times
but
earlier
it's
tonight?
the story that goes along with it because the outcomes are different from time to time.
It's
Yeah, I guess you're
worse than
right.
porn acting. It's really
I don't know.
bad.
They're pretty good. They're good actors. I mean, they can bring you into a world if you want to be brought into the world.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a skeptic.
Like I liked wrestling when they were like the Attitude Era where they
You mean
were.
when you were 8, when it was appropriate,
I watched it probably till I was like 14 or 15.
It's still appropriate.
But they had like crazy storylines, dude. They had one, I remember it was like, I can't remember his name, Brian Pillman or something. And like a gun was involved. Like they had a shooting. Like it was intense. It was like Dallas, like the soap opera Dallas. You probably don't remember that, but Who Shot JR? You've heard that before, right?
No.
Okay. Well,
I know, like
I forget you're a
General
child.
Hospital.
You're a little baby.
And The Young and the Restless, but
I'm just saying that there was some pretty intense storylines there. So it's like watching a soap opera or a scripted show,
Yeah.
but there's athleticism involved in it.
I mean, I want to say I get it, but also I don't. I think it's one of those things, much like sports, where you just have to kind of grow up with it.
Yeah.
I kind of missed the boat, and I'm just confused at how people are enjoying themselves. Like, how are grown men this excited about fake shit?
Well, it used to
Like
be for
fake stories.
kids. Like
Right.
it was like kind of like cartoonish. And then at least in the 80s and 90s, and then the Attitude Era came in. I think that's when they started grasping like a wider, because it was like I mean, if it was the Attitude Era now, I'd probably watch it.
Was it? Are you coining that term, or is that what
No,
people
that's
called
what
it?
they called it, the Attitude Era.
Here's my theory on it: is that all the grown men that like it now just watched it as kids and just remained fans.
There's probably some. Yeah, I don't think
there's any
you're
new
coming
recruits.
to it. Yeah, I think that would be very rare where somebody's like, I've never watched this before. I'll give it a whirl. Because I think it's kind of gone back to being more like PG.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's, well, I haven't watched it in a long time. I don't know. But that's the vibe that I get, is it's not, I mean, like I said, Attitude Era was crazy. They were like cutting, the one, Val Venus got his dick cut off, like in one with a samurai. Like,
I would have known that. I would have been watching wrestling.
It was crazy as shit that was going on. Shootings, like it was, and it was, I don't know. Degeneration X, the suck it.
Yeah,
Suck
that
it.
comes from wrestling?
Yeah, suck it. And we used to just do that at school all the time and get in trouble.
Me too, but I didn't know it was a wrestling thing.
You just hit them with one of those bing.
Yeah.
That's when you knew. You get your teacher when they turned around.
Full stop. There's really nothing you can say to that. Just suck it. There's no comeback.
There's none. It was a much better time and a simpler time when you could just tell somebody, suck it.
Mm-hmm.
We should bring it back.
I was about to say, we can
Let's bring it back. 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hit Julia with it when we go downstairs.
That'll work well.
We'll see.
Your relationship.
I'll find out. All right. Anyway, good times. Glad to be back. Join us next week. Eric Nagel will join us. Subscribe to the Substack. Subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to the Rumble and the Facebook. We're not censored on Facebook anymore. We didn't even get to it. Found out why I guess we were banned for whatever reason. Mark Zuckerberg came out and goes, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. So you brought up a good point.
Yeah.
That he started taking UFC or jiu-jitsu or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of broed out a little bit.
Yeah. He's
and
got
he's
a
like,
pair. Grew a pair. I would say the breakdown, and again, I've only been to a few gyms, but the political breakdown of let's just say men who do jiu-jitsu, I've yet to meet one liberal.
Yeah.
All of the guys there. And again,
or is it that they are some, but they turn once they start taking classes, they pull Mark Zuckerberg.
It could be that way. Here's the thing. You can't be woke and do jiu-jitsu because you have a respect for sexes and weight classes. So you can't, people make fun of each other for being fat. There's certain moves fat guys can't do. If I'm rolling with a big guy, they're like, this weak bitch, I'm not going 100% with her because she's weak compared to me. And I accept that and I appreciate that. I say, hey, thank you for not, going 60% on me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So there's just an appreciation for reality and common sense. And of course, there's, I'm sure there's varying degrees of how much, how right or center these guys are, but for the most part, they love Trump and they love country. So it
is interesting that kind of, now there's also political pressure on him now that Donald Trump's president again. And I mean, not too long ago, Zuckerberg was like, we're not letting him use Facebook anymore. And he's on an indefinite ban. And then all of a sudden he comes out with his curly hair, his little broccoli haircut and his gold chain. He's like, nah, we're not. She's back. Daddy's back.
He's Jupac. He's ready.
Yeah, he's ready to go. So he's going to do something very similar to, he was paying these news organizations to fact check. And then he admitted in his video that these people are very politically motivated and may not be telling the truth.
Of course not.
Of course, they deny that in its entirety and don't agree.
Who were they? They were just third party, or were they actual companies?
They were actually
like Snopes or something.
Well, they were getting grants. It's journalist consortiums. There's I'm sure there's government in that too that are pretending to be independent fact checkers that had this authority. And you do have a lot of authority when you're saying Also, these newsrooms are just don't have any money. They're failing. They're getting a lot of grants from Facebook to fact check in real time these things, and then they might have a bias, which he claims that they do have a very strong political bias.
He's willing to admit that.
It feels like, I don't know. I'm excited and scared. It feels like the pendulum is starting to swing back, but it also makes me feel like something bad might happen too. Like they're going to try to sabotage it any way they know how to.
Let's hope not.
I hope not. But will Dad be president when we're back? When does he get sworn in?
The 20th.
The 20th. Okay,
Yeah,
today's the 8th.
One more. The 15th,
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, in 2 weeks,
Mhm.
Dad's home. So clean up
Feels
your
good.
room, eat your vegetables,
Yeah.
and we'll see you
Pull your
next
pants
week.
up. Yep.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
See ya.